My sister betrayed me by having an affair with my boyfriend and is now demanding a share of my inheritance to keep it a secret. I, now 25F, was in a relationship up until 2 years ago with a guy I met in college. I introduced him to my family 2 years back, and my parents did not really like him because of our cultural differences. However, they were not rude to him. My sisters enjoyed his company and welcomed him as part of our family, which made me overjoyed. For context, this guy and I worked in a different city and had been there for just 2 days. We did not live together because I come from a culture that sees it as a sin, and we could not get a place together before we were married. After the meeting with my family, we left within 2 days. 3 months after this meeting, I was at my boyfriend's place, and while he was in the washroom, a notification popped up on his phone. Normally, I don't look through his phone, but that day, I don't know what happened, I did. It was a message from my sister, Kathy. I went through their chats, and it was full of sexual and flirty texts. I took a screenshot of all of it, sent it to my phone, and left without saying a word. Before I reached my apartment, my phone was blowing up with his calls and messages because I didn't care to delete the pictures. I told him to F*** off, sent the screenshots to our friends group chat, we had the same friend group in college, and blocked him. More than his betrayal, I was broken and hurt because of my sister's betrayal. We had always been close in age and were present for each other due to our parents being absent and neglectful. The very next day, I flew to my parents' place where she lived. I confronted her in front of our family, and she admitted all of it without an ounce of shame or hesitation. My mother slapped her, and my dad was very, very angry at her. I was no longer angry, just hurt. I felt completely broken. My dad gave her a week to move out, but 2 days later, she came in to say that she was pregnant with my ex's child. This made my parents soften up to her. I said a lot of harsh words to them, and they told me that no matter what, they wouldn't abandon her. I left and told them never to contact me again. I just kept in touch with my youngest sister because she's a kid, and I was worried about her. I blocked my entire family except for her. 2 weeks after all this fiasco, I received the wedding invitation from my mother, who had gotten a new number just to talk to me. Honestly, I was not shocked about the wedding because my parents are very image conscious, and here, having a child out of wedlock is the biggest sin. She called me to say that I had to attend this wedding for the sake of our family, as, what will people say if I don't? She went on to say that I even had to get married before my sister's child came into this world because I'm older than her. I told her to get lost and blocked this new number of hers. As expected, their wedding happened, and my parents told all the relatives that I wasn't there because I had work commitments. Some relatives and a few cousins I'm close to reached out to me, asking why I wasn't there. Most of them were genuinely concerned, while others blamed me for not being there for the family and being selfish. Now, this is a bit out of character for me, but I went to Facebook and made a post detailing what had happened. Within a few hours, my phone was blowing up, but I ignored it, and eventually, it stopped. I just talked to a cousin who was on my side, and I was sure most of my extended family now knew what happened. My dad passed away 5 days ago. Though he was not the best person out there, he was my dad. My mom did not even care to tell me. It was my baby sister who called me, crying. I booked the first flight available and went to their place. My sister and mother, just after seeing me, went ahead cursing me and saying that I had no right to be there after abandoning them and that I was just there for the money. Most of the elder relatives agreed with them. My dad had a will, and I was surprised to know that he included me in it. In fact, I have the largest share in all his assets combined. Me, 40%, my youngest sister, 30%, my mom, 20%, and my other sister, 10%. My scumbag sister and her husband now want me to give up my share and are threatening to sue me if I don't. I know they cannot do anything legally. Honestly, even I feel that this is just too twisted, and I suspect my dad gave her a smaller portion because she has a child and he had taken her side during all that fiasco. But there is no way I'm giving them anything after what they did to me. We have a meeting with my dad's lawyer in a few hours, and maybe things will be clearer then. Update. Edit. I am on my way back to the hotel. I did not think this post would blow up. Thank you to everyone who sent kind words. So, I had a meeting with my dad's lawyer, and now some of my questions have been answered. The lawyer is also my father's really close friend. My dad absolutely regretted what happened to me but couldn't go against the cultural norms and my mother. He never supported my sister, it was always my mother, but he did not interfere. He was guilty, and when I had cut off all contact, there had been an instance when he had called out my sister and her husband, calling them selfish and cheaters. This happened in the absence of my youngest sister, so I never knew about it. He constantly checked up on me through my youngest sister but never had the courage to contact me. He had been suffering from heart disease for a long time and had a sudden heart attack. He left my sister money so she couldn't easily challenge the will in court and also for her child. I doubt she will save up anything for her son with her extravagant lifestyle. My mother has been a stay-at-home mom all her life, so this is sort of her retirement money, which he felt he owed her. The house has always been in my mom's name, so that's separate. I've been living in a hotel, and my youngest sister has a fund of a really good amount, which she will receive when she turns 18. Nobody can access it before then, not even my mom, for which I am thankful. I have the same amount as her with all his shares because my father was a very active investor. This is what the lawyer told me. To the person who called me greedy and said I am just as bad as my sister. I'm not. I didn't know about the will when I came here. Honestly, I had expected that there would be nothing for me, seeing our past. I have never hated my parents, not even my mom, even after what she did, let alone my dad. I was just disappointed in them, but they are my parents, no matter what. I was grief-stricken when I heard of his death. I am already in contact with a lawyer friend of mine, and he has assured me that there's not much my sister can do because she is a part of the will and has not been ignored completely. She will probably lose whatever she has if she decides to challenge it. My sister got pregnant because my boyfriend flew every weekend to the place where my parents live, and it is merely a 2-hour flight. I didn't know because his job requires him to travel all the time. I don't know the details, though, because I don't want to find out. I also asked if there's any way I can get custody of my youngest sister because my mom and older sister could mistreat her. As of now, I can't because there's nothing they've done of that sort. My youngest sister has assured me that she will inform me immediately if anything happens. At the end of the meeting, my sister's dumbass husband threatened me, saying, "You will regret doing this." I replied, "Once a cheater, always a cheater." My mother called me names, and her words are the only thing that still hurt me these days. I highly doubt they will stop here, though. I am in town for the next 10 days. Hopefully everything goes well.